You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will cause a whole lot of jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will have a whole lot of jumping shit.
What's going on, party people? It's your man, 50 Grand, the Godfather, Nate Milton, and you are about to listen to another excellent episode from the Nefarious Media Network. Since January of 2025, we have been putting it down for the crown, and we've been committed to bringing you truthful, thoughtful, turned-up commentary as it pertains to the worlds of sports, politics, pop culture, pro wrestling, entertainment, and life. Yes, life. This thing that we are all just trying to get through day by day. An electric word called life, as the man used to say. And that brings us to the drive for 500. Yes, 500 YouTube subscribers, which gets us halfway to monetization, and 500 Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. That's our stretch goal for the year. Because if we hit those marks, it allows us the flexibility and the freedom and the funds, quite honestly, to do some more things here at the network, to be more consistent with our shows, to bring you new shows, and to bring some people on to help with production. So if you believe in us, man, if you believe in what we're doing here, because we got a lot of hard-working people, myself included, working 50, 60 hours a week at the shoot jobs, got families, got kids, got responsibilities, but we still do this, man, because we love this and we believe in this. And if you believe in us and you love the shows that we do, help us out, man. Help a brother out. Help a sister out. That's all we asking, because we are trying to change the game by any means necessary, even if those means may be nefarious.
It's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of jumping shit.
Hey, party people. This is your host, Rachel Eiley. Welcome to the Super Solid Podcast. We are here ready to have a good time. And we are, of course, going to talk about the new Superman movie. I'm very excited because I'm a big fan of Superman. I know a lot of you guys probably are too, because let's face it, he's the best. And I'm here with a few other awesome people who are going to talk with me about it and everything. Some people you might know, frequent contributors to the DCTV Podcast Network, as I was as well. So we can go ahead and introduce those people. First, we have Brother Nate.
What's up, OG Rachel? Super Salad, episode 1, issue number 1. I'm so Happy to be here to talk about this movie, man, because I got a lot of thoughts, and I know you got a lot of thoughts too. So
I
I'm ready
do.
to have some fun, my friend.
Yes, I'm so pumped to be here doing this podcast and talking about this movie. And we also have Andy B.
Hey, how we doing
or
today?
Andy Mangione you're going by now,
Yes,
I see.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
Wow, wow.
I mean,
I don't think this
as a
was clear
lawyer,
through
I
legal.
approve of that, but
yeah.
we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
And we also have Vanessa Shark in here today.
Hello, I'm so
Hi,
Hey, yo.
Vanessa.
yay! Didn't want to
Okay.
introduce this.
So I'm very excited to be here doing this podcast with these people because I have not spoken to them and done stuff with them in a while. So this is very fun. We can start, I guess, with overall thoughts. Were you guys' overall thoughts on the movie? Vanessa, do you want to go first?
Sure. I saw it the first time last Monday during a press screening in Vegas, and I was like anxious the whole time. And when I remember going into it and like watching it, I was like, I don't know, this feels like too much right away. And then by the end, I was like, okay, cool. I feel like I have lived with these people. I've lived in this universe for years now. I felt like I was ready. I felt like we've seen so much already. And it was like a nice lived in familiar feeling. And seeing it again, I've seen it multiple times already now. And it was, I'm just so happy and relieved that we have a sweetheart Superman, like a girl Superman. We have a Superman. I have my DMs filled with queer people, girls that are just like, I love this Superman. Oh my God. Like, this is a girl's Superman. This is a queer person Superman. And I know why they're mad. And I just love this Superman so much. I had some issues with how much was in the movie, but which we'll talk about. But like overall, I could not be more happy with the cast, and James really gets it. And I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I also really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really well done. I was definitely kind of anxious going in because we know the DC movie universe has had its struggles over the years, kind of setting up plans and then aborting them 2 times over. So I was like, if we're going to start new, we gotta make sure this is a good start. But I really loved it. I thought the casting was really excellent, like throughout. I thought everyone was very well cast, and just the writing was good. And like I'm very partial to Lois Lane, as she's just very close to my heart. And I thought Rachel Brosnahan was amazing as her. um I do like Amy Adams as an actress, but she just didn't have like the Lois Lane for me. So I was very happy to see that that was there. And David was so good. I was not familiar with him at all, but I think he really brought it. And oh God, what is the guy that plays Lex? Nicholas
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt. Okay. I am also picky about my Lexes. I'm of the opinion that the best Lex was Michael Rosenbaum in Smallville, and for that matter, the best Lois was Eric Durance in Smallville. But I thought he was a very good Lex. It very much felt like he was into it. He had been, doing this his whole life, which is I thought it was kind of odd when they're like, "Oh, Superman, nice to meet you for the first time." I was like, okay, but I feel like there'd been a lot built up to that. But yes, we can keep discussing. Brother Nate, how did you feel?
Not to usurp your position as the captain of this team, Rach, but I'll defer to Andy first because I'm excited. I know Andy has been bubbling like a unwatched tea kettle. So Andy, you can go first, my friend.
I've been Hi, sure, I've been bubbly. As one of the queer folks that Vanessa was referring to, yes, I am very much about this Superman. You have to have a great Superman and a good-looking Superman. Also, Superman that appeals to us girls and gays. Like the men's, fine. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you're lost. No, I saw it last Friday, stressful as Friday, but I finally got to see it, and I am very much in like what Vanessa said. It feels like we've been in this universe for a very, very long time, and it makes me happy that we're, because yes, as Rachel pointed out, in the last couple of years, How do I say this politely? Has been a shit show when it comes to most of the theatrical films. Like I love Black Adam, I love Blue Beetle, but anything else, I'm like, what are we doing here? So this really feels like a proper beginning of a franchise that I think will live for a very, very long time. And this cat, like when it comes to casting, these iconic characters, like it's always going to be tricky because there's so much expectations, and we've grown up with so many different versions. For me, like my Superman and Lois Lane, Lex Luthor is always going to be Tom Welling, Eric Durant, and Michael Rosenbaum. But I will say this: when it comes to at least film wise, we finally have a great movie, Lex, because we never had it before. We never had it before. Never, ever, ever. Rachel Boston, like because Vanessa and I, we host the Studios podcast, so she's talked a lot about the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Yeah. I would always say Mrs. Marvel, and she's like, Andy, it's not Marvel. So
Exactly.
I've heard so many great things about it. The only thing I've seen of David Cornsweet is that he kissed a dude on his own show, and I'm like, a Superman who kisses dudes, I fuck with that. But these are. Because also when I saw the film, a kid was sitting next to me, and I kind of because I'm like, well, I don't know any kids, but I wanted to see like what his reaction was like, and he was so into it, and I'm thinking this is probably like his first Superman that he's ever seen in his whole life, and like, so for me, like I love what James Gunn has brought to the table. There's definitely some issues that we can discuss later on, but otherwise, this is the win that we needed for DC. It's doing great at the box office. Rotten Tomato scores is off the charts, and Twitter is behaving absolutely normal about this movie.
Of course, very normal. All right, Nate, do you have your thoughts together now? You'd like to share?
Gathered my thoughts, Rachel, and I love everything that y'all have said, man. It makes me very happy. That my friends and people who I respect and love enjoyed this movie. But this is a safe space, Andy B. We listen and we don't judge. I didn't like it, man.
Wow.
I went to see it Saturday. My rare Saturday off from the job. I went to go see it. And Andy B, I did not like it. I loved it, man.
Wow, I hate you.
I was about to text Vanessa, be like, Vanessa, hold me, because I'm gonna freaking lash out.
I know he's lying.
You're like, I know there's a trick coming. I just don't know where it's coming from.
Oof! I was like, this should be a hard podcast episode.
That shirt is a lie. I just noticed that you're wearing a Hawkeye shirt from.
Trust me, bro. I wouldn't lie to you, Andy B. But yeah, like everything you guys have said is spot on. Like obviously, no piece of art can be perfect to everyone. But I thought this was a really, really good jumping off point for James Gunn's. Like we've had little bits and pieces here with Creature Commando, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, stuff like that. But this feels like this had to hit because this is like not only your biggest movie, like James Gunn to this point for DC, but this is your biggest character. Like everybody love Batman, whatever. But to me, if you don't get Superman right, you don't get your DC universe right.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes, agreed.
Which actually we have proof of that actually. So yes, you're right.
Yes. I don't know nothing about this man, David Corning Sweat. I ain't never seen this man.
Corn Sweat.
See, I don't even know the man's name. Like there was a lot of people in this cast that I was unfamiliar with. But I thought everyone was cast perfectly. Like my man that played Jimmy Olsen felt like Jimmy Olsen. Shout out to Wendell Pierce as Perry White. Like I loved it.
He was so good. Yeah,
I love the theme of Black Perry White. It just makes me laugh on a molecular level.
He was like the perfect casting for that role. I was like, oh
yes. And then to all of y'all points about Lex Luthor, man, I thought this is and not to compare mediums, not to compare different versions of these characters, because there should be different versions of these characters, but this is the first Lex Luthor, Smallville Lex aside, that I was like, oh, he gave me them Clancy Brown chills from Justice League. Like this Lex is smart and calculating and a crash out. And I love that about this Lex Luthor. And he's bald.
Yeah.
And he's bald, man. My Lex Luthor got to be bald, man. From the beginning, from the first time we see him in the movie. But yeah, this was fun, man. It was, that symbol on his chest. The symbol on his chest, Rachel. The symbol on his chest stands for hope. This movie gives me hope for James Gunn's universe, man. Like I enjoyed it a lot. It was cute. Like, yes, Superman's a little corny, but Superman, in my opinion, is supposed to be a little bit corny. Supposed to be. He's not punk rock, so yeah, I dug it, man.
But is he? But he might be.
That is the question, Vanessa.
That I was losing it, and then they the follow through it where they have with the angry crab or the mighty crab joys on he has the poster on his wall. I was like, I love a good follow through for a joke, and that was excellent. And of course, I'm assuming you all stayed through the credits for the end scenes, and they were playing the Mighty Crab Joys theme as well, which I did see in the credits was written by James Gunn, and I appreciate that level of commitment to the bit. So.
I'm hopefully he commits all the way and releases like a Mighty Crab Joys album. I feel like
I'm down.
I feel like
wear the merch.
But I think
I know what he can do. One song per project, and then by the end of chapter 1, the whole mixtape.
That would be so cute. But maybe James is one of the only directors. He might be the only director that has a deep appreciation for music as well as film, and he shows it throughout his that man loves music. Like, I think he might like it more than making movies. And I was surprised how much he held back in this movie, because Guardians of the Galaxy is defined by the music, and it works for that. But I was worried that it would be too much for this. But there's really only a couple scenes where it but it made sense for those scenes to have that music. So I appreciate him, he loves music. It just held back just because it didn't make sense for it to be like this. Unless if he makes Music Meister a villain for his next Superman film, go ahead. But yeah, I will shout out to James Gunn for really reining in a lot of his gun-isms. Because
we finished the movie, and my roommate Jess was like, "Oh yeah, of course this is a James Gunn movie. That makes so much sense." It was all the music, but there's one thing I did want to bring up, the Superman theme music and their use of it. Every single time I get this excitement in my chest, and I was like, they're going into a black hole in a proton river, and I was like, this has never happened for Superman before, but I'm feeling it.
The one concern I had, because I was watching through the credits, and I'm thinking okay, we have John Murphy and David Fleming scoring this, but I could never find a point where, okay, is John Williams getting at least credited for this? Because because that man deserves to get a paycheck for this, since it's his theme that's being used here. So I don't if you guys saw in the credits that he was at least listed, but I couldn't see it when I saw it.
I was admittedly not looking, but I would
because
hope he's getting something.
I'm a nerd. I was just looking for those things.
I assume yes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't peep it, but I'm sure he got paid.
Yeah, to my base knowledge of royalties and law and all how that works, I would assume he'd get something. So
yeah.
Okay. So just the opening scene, and I will say this is probably my strongest criticism of the movie, was that it felt like the second movie in a series. I do kind of feel like it was more of the Dark Knight than Superman Begins. And I'm not saying I need Superman Begins, but it did feel like it was at least aimed towards people who are already very familiar with the characters and the setting and everything, to kind of just throw us in the middle. I was kind of thrown off for the first scene because, it takes a minute for them to explain what's going on, but he is blood on his face. And I was kind of are they properly respecting the lore here? Because if this guy doesn't have kryptonite, and then they establish he doesn't have kryptonite, and I was like, I don't know. But then when we jump to the end of the movie and we find out it's a Superman clone, I was like, oh, okay, that works. If it's another Superman doing, because Lex Luthor loves clones. We all know that. Then I guess that makes sense. So that I was glad they pulled that around for me, because I was a little concerned about their commitment to the lore.
Yeah, I agree. I respect that. I have issues with the clone.
Yeah.
In that I wish it wasn't included. didn't need
Yo,
to.
you said, Vanessa, you said there was so much in this, and like I was already like, "Ooh, there's a lot on the plate right now." And then
I'm
3/4
full.
through the movie, he's the clone. Like, what? Hold on, James. Jim.
It was a lot. It was like, I get it. It made sense with the DNA and like what you said, like he needs to be like who can beat up Superman without kryptonite?
Right,
Well, Superman, right? It makes sense. And I just, by the time I was like, dude, whoa, we got so much going on. The star importance, the proton thing, the clone. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, by the time I was like, oh my God, please don't let this go on for so much longer. And I feel like they wrapped it up pretty quickly, but it just was like, I just didn't need it. You know, what are you guys
there was definitely, no, go ahead, Andy, you're going to say something on topic.
I was going to say, because I think my issue with the whole Ultraman thing was I just wish they hadn't called him Ultraman, because it's so, because this is so clearly like some sort of bizarro setup, because, he goes into, he goes through a hole and,
but Ultraman is Earth 3. He could go in either. He could go in
yeah. As long as like it actually like pays off or something, then you just didn't decide to like merge two villains into one. Because I know that there's a lot of Marvel MCU film does this a lot, where they will merge various characters into one, and it's like, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and I just don't want that to be like with DC. Let these separate characters be who they are, and it gives us more time and space to explore them down the line. So I mean, for me, like my whole thing is because I watched The Boys, so I'm kind of like all the time like, Andy, that's not Black Noir, Andy, that's not Black Noir, Andy, that's not Black Noir. like I remember like when I even like the day the set photos had come out of Ultraman, it was the same day I was going to interview the actor who plays Black Noir on The Boys, and I'm like, so what you think? And he had like some really funny responses, but I was kind of like, yeah, this is like, I wonder where they got this inspiration from. I get why they need to have someone like him in there, because they explain in this movie that Krypton has been wiped off Earth, which I'm like,
I thought that was an interesting choice.
I'm like, okay. I doubt it's true, because I'm like, they must have missed some spots.
Probably find it somewhere, yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if we're not gonna use kryptonite in a physical fight against Superman, then we have to find a way to actually have someone that can beat him up. So I'm like, I got that, but I get also with Vanessa saying like, there is, just a lot going on, and but again, it's like I was one of those people who was like, I can take 30 more minutes of this movie. I could probably do that, but I get the part about it feeling like there's a little, just smidge too much.
I actually, sorry, not to interrupt, I agree. I could have used 30 more minutes of this movie. I could use 2 hours more, but I wanted more like Clark the Journalist, Daily Planet, stuff like that, instead of like more villains. But I get what they needed to sell the universe. But anyway, sorry, go ahead, Nate.
Nah, you're good, Nast, you're good. But to Rachel's point earlier about how the movie starts, like James Gunn, if nothing else, he loves some in media res. He's like, we gonna throw y'all into the middle of this story, and you gonna have to figure the way out. But I love like just the 3,000 years ago, metahumans first came to Earth. 300 years ago, this happened. 3 decades ago, this baby was shot off of this planet that blew up. 3 minutes ago, Superman was getting his ass beat. Like, oh, that's a lot.
That was a good.
Dropped on my plate, James.
The number 3 was very popular.
Yes.
Yes, I did like that intro.
Trinity, why was 3? Trinity. I'm seeing Easter eggs everywhere.
There were so many Easter eggs in this movie.
Perfect.
So many Easter
there were.
eggs.
Getting there though. I liked the beginning with the metahumans, but my immediate question was, okay, but is Superman a metahuman or is he an alien?
He's an alien.
Well, so the way James explained it is that like metahuman is just like their term for people who have powers, but obviously like he is an alien, because he says in the whole movie, like, I'm from Krypton, I'm an alien, like so it's just like metahuman is just I guess a label they use for anyone who has powers, whereas like in the Marvel, like there's there are mutants and super soldiers and Inhumans and stuff like that, but here I think they're trying to be like the world's reaction to people with powers in this continuity is just that they label them as metahumans, unless like it's people who don't really look human, I guess, or someone who was a human and then got their powers and like like their visuals changed, and I guess that's how they're going with it. But yeah, okay. Like I guess I remember like people were so pissed when there was a prequel novel that came out that had Clark labeled as a metahuman, and people were like, "What is James Gunn doing?" It's like, no, but it's the context, because like from their point of view, they're not thinking of aliens. They're thinking of like, well, what's happening on Earth? Well, they're these metahumans. So,
and not
but
all
yeah, but I get
powers too.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good explanation, I think. So kind of a main plot point began Superman's message from his parents from Krypton. We kind of see that coming in one of the opening scenes when he's in the fortress and like, oh, it suits him. I did find it immediately interesting that they kept it in Kryptonese. No,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure there's a word for it. I'm not sure what it is. Their language, because I was like, we always hear it in English. So I was like, I wonder if there's going to be something like that. And then there was. I wasn't sure how I thought about them kind of corrupting the Jor-El and Lara thing, about them, not actually wanting Clark to be, an amazing superhero, but like to rule over them. I think it was an interesting choice. I think it gave Clark an interesting moral quandary. But in the end, I think I prefer Jor-El and Lara that are, that do want the best for their son and not to rule over Earth with multiple lives.
Yeah.
The many wives. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, people were laughing in my theater. I'm like, I'm sorry. She said what now? So
Okay.
sorry, Vanessa. Go on.
No. Was anyone else like, is that fucking Bradley Cooper?
Yes. Same note, Vanessa. Same note. I'm like, hold on, James Gunn.
Did you know that before? Because I was like, is that fucking James Gunn?
There was some leaking of the casting.
Okay, I didn't know. I was like,
I didn't know
anything. So I was like, that's fucking Bradley Cooper. All right.
He looks weirdly familiar.
I will say that I'm not as upset about the Jor-El Lara Van twist that I was with like the Jonathan Kent in the previous universe, because I feel like the Jonathan Kent change was a fundamental change that just didn't match up to just didn't really line up to what anyone was thinking or what we wanted for that kind of character. Jor-El is up to interpretation because we only know him through memories. So I'm actually not that mad about it. And I also think this is a setup for match, clone, Bizarro, not Bizarro, Ultraman. I think this is a setup for him, because he said Lord. She specifically said to lord over the humans. Justice Lords on Earth 3 in the DCAU. James Gunn has said he wants to reference the Superman animated series. The Justice Lords are big villains in the Earth 3 universe. Ultraman is a Justice Lord. So I thought that message was interesting, because one Superman will be like, reject it, whatever. But the other another version of Superman in a different universe, gets just sucked into another universe. I thought that was more of a setup for there were some parts of this movie where I was like, that feels like a setup for a different movie. Because
I like that.
I gave him more of a motivation, and I thought that was great. But I felt like with the clone thing and him getting sent off of the universe, I think this message means more than just this movie. I think it's gonna have bigger ramifications. And that's why I think I like the change, because I think if it's bigger than just this movie, I think it's going to have bigger ramifications. And I'm also not that mad about Jor-El being like, them being like, yes, I'm not that mad about it. It makes, I don't know. It's a good contrast to the Ma and Pa,
Yeah, I think that part, Vanessa, because I think not only is it, leading to something down the road, potentially, but it, to use a wrestling phrase, it puts over Ma and Pa Kent. Like, it's like, they're really great compared to his actual birth parents. And it's like, and by the way, shout out to like casting a bigger dude as Pa Kent, because I was like, I wasn't expecting fluffy Pa Kent, thick Pa Kent.
We haven't had a Flows in Florida.
Yeah. Okay, I like the relationship that they had, and like Martha, just like, he's a big mush. Like, don't let him fool you, and just that we get that flip at the end, Rachel, where the thing that calmed him down at the beginning of the movie was the message from his Kryptonian parents, but what centers him at the end of the movie is home movies at the Kent farm. I'm like,
Kansas. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I want to say, when it comes to the whole Jor-El thing, when it comes to the Jor-El thing, and I think because Rachel, I know you're a very big Small fan, because sorry, I'm sitting there thinking at first I'm like, I know there's no way this message is real. No, it's just like it's AI, it's corrupted, whatever. Like, there's no way. I'm like, holy shit, what if it is real? And I'm thinking like, well, this is very much because like like Vanessa said perfectly, Jor-El is very much up to interpretation, especially because most times we only see him as an artificial AI. Like, usually we only hear his voice or we see a hologram, but it's not like
It's not actually him. Yeah.
Exactly. So in Smallville, like Jor-El had a very, very similar trajectory where like it was, it ended up being that there was a misunderstanding and so on, that like he wanted Clark to conquer the Earth and so on. So it's possible that this could be what's happening too, because again, we don't. At the end of the day, like there's, this is just the first movie. There's so much more to come. And I think that if you look at the idea that Jor-El and Lara, like that there's something misinterpreted about that message, because again, Kryptonese is, we don't know how much Kryptonese Clark's knows it, like, and he seems like he understands the point of it, but like, this is something that could be explored down the line. And both at the same time, like, it's not like they haven't done this in the comics before. Like, people were saying like, oh, James Gunn is like screwing the comics or whatever. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's been times where like, Vanessa, wasn't there an arc where the whole Mr. Oz thing happened?
Yeah, I was literally just thinking, I was like, actually, currently in the canon, Jor-El is a dickhead. He's the reason why John Kent got aged up. Like, Jor-El is not good in the current canon. Like, he came back as a villain in the DC Rebirth era. And there's a reason why John Kent went from a little boy to a 20-year-old, and everyone's still mad about it.
Gotcha. Okay, so I've since found out that James Gunn did make comments about this, so I might have been the only one, but I low-key panicked when John Pa Kent showed up, because I thought they were going to kill him on stage. So I was kind of upset about that, but we again Googled it mid-movie, and they're like, "No, he's not going to kill him."
Yeah, Pa was the actor. Hold on, I got his name. Pruitt Taylor Vince is so good. I'd never heard of him before. He's been in other stuff. People have said, I don't know. I've never heard of him before. And the lady
I saw him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he was a fun little side character.
He's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Definitely didn't remember him on that. But he is so good as his dad. Like, he just is so like the choices, like the way he talks, he was just like a big bear. And then like the way he like got up, he was like, move. Like, he just like the way he just talked, interacted with him just like a dad would, just like an old tired dad. And the way like they just were caressing him, and like it's just like their baby. And I was like, I was so emotional. Like,
right. No, all the interactions were so good. With the Kents, I loved all of the scenes. They were so good.
So good. Our best Kents, I think, to me, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're our best Kents. And we only got a few, like maybe 10 minutes with them. I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still biased with John Schneider and O'Toole, but like, but I definitely want to see more of these two. Like, and the thing that I'm happy that, because I remember like when the trailers were coming out, and like we saw Jonathan a lot, but no Martha, and it was like, oh my god, they're gonna flip the script and make Martha the one to be dead. I'm like, yo, why can't you just then be alive? We don't need to do that.
No one does.
Like, we don't need to do that.
Does.
Yes.
R.I.P. But yeah, no one else sees that.
Okay. So one thing I really liked that a lot of other
full screen.
Ray said, "How dare you call me out?" By the way, Two-Way Ray's producing, y'all. Give it up for Two-Way Ray.
Two-Way Ray. Props. Okay, so one thing I did like about the movie was a lot of other Superman movies just like focus on Superman, but this one did draw in a lot of other characters and even other heroes from the DC universe. I thought the inclusion of the Justice Gang was hilarious. Nathan Fillion, oh my god, this is saying a lot, but I think this may be his best role because he was incredibly hilarious, cracking me up the whole time, just like super excellent job, and really just like embodied the Green Lantern ego, I think, very well. And, it was just funny. They're like, oh, we're the Justice Gang. And they're like, that's not our name. And it was, at the fight. Oh my god, that's a great picture of it.
The wig, man.
Yes, the wig is amazing.
At the fight at the end when they're, he's going on with his big weapons and Mr. Terrific's got his thing going on. I was like, Hawkgirl's not super useful in this kind of fight, but then she went and grabbed the president of Baravia and dropped him from the sky
and murdered him.
I was just like, oh, I take it back. She's great. She's great.
Yeah. She's doing what she's there to do, what needs to be done. That's
and she's not a barista either.
No, she's not. Even though we do have jitters confirmed in this universe.
me
Well,
too.
I saw
There's
Andy
always
Behbakht.
big jitters and big belly burger. There's always going to be around.
Big Belly Burger, yes.
I gotta say, Guy, just excellently done. Just so well done. I hate Guy Gardner. Ugh, I love to hate Guy Gardner.
No. But it was funny the way you said it.
He's a fun character to dislike,
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see him get punched by Batman, man. Oh, I can't wait. Yes. You know that one punch scene? Oh, from Justice League International. I cannot wait. Hawkgirl, loved her. Shout out to Cleveland. She's from Isabella's from Cleveland. And I thought Mr. Terrific is just like
Mr. GD Terrific.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need Batman anymore. We like Mr. Terrific can like
the third smartest person in the world after after Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor. Oh, why are you third? Who do you think made the list? Mr. Terrific put himself number 3 because he is smart. He's the smartest man on the planet. Dude is so good. So good. I don't think he's done that well in the comics consistently. So I was really, and I don't, his characterization in Arrow had a lot to be desired.
It was shit.
That's a lot of Arrow. That's a lot of Arrow. But this was, damn, so good. Like when they first introduced, I was like, I hope they're not going to make him like a comedic relief, like super serious and like funny things just happen to him. But no, he had the coolest scene in the entire, that fight scenes that I was like, oh my God, the beach scene, and then Superman doing that spin laser eye thing in the sky at the very end with the Raptors. The beach scene, Lois was like, what the fuck? I was like,
there's always that.
She was shook.
No, keep going. I was like, I can't.
No, I didn't want to know. No, because the thing with James Gunn is that if you watch a lot of his superhero movies, there's always a one action set piece that it will always just blow your mind. And I think it was terrific. It's like, listen, because I will say it. Yeah, Arrow Mr. Terrific was shit. That he was just invented to be a bestie for Felicity Smoke. Literally just her gay bestie. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. I'm gay. I fuck with the gays. It's all good. But what I'm saying is, there's nothing. If you look at these two Mr. Terrifics, they couldn't be any more different from each other. And this is the one we get in the movie because I've been pissed for Edie since X-Men First Class.
Yes,
that they took out one of the best characters who also.
You're the man that can adapt to anything except for the thing that kills you.
Exactly. So
I
I've never read. I haven't read Mr. I read Mr. Terrific in some supporting roles in some comic, but I've never read a lot of them. So I was like, for me, this was my biggest exposure to it. I'm like, he stole the show so many times that I'm like, okay, I understand why they might be considering doing a spin-off for him. And and clearly, I think Mr. Terrific is also one of James's favorite characters because when he first got appointed to join these studios, because he will post cryptic things all the time. The first was a Kingdom Come art, and then I think Mr. Terrific was there at some point. And I feel we're gonna have a lot of Mr. Terrific in this universe, and I hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and the fact that.
Sorry, he has a comic book out right now,
Okay.
Mr. Terrific Year 1 by Al Letson and an artist that I interviewed, Edwin Gallman, who's incredible. So just want to plug Mr. Terrific comic right now. It's out in the comic book store.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're good. I love the Justice Gang, quote unquote, so much. They added a nice little side element to this film. Nathan Fillion, this man been out here on the grind. For those of you that follow this Green Lantern stuff, this man been Hal Jordan in 11 different projects. And finally found the lantern he was supposed to be this whole time, Rachel. This man got Gardner that nobody likes, but we have to tolerate him because he's semi-decent at what he does, and I can't wait to see him interact with John and Hal on Lanterns. I think that's gonna be insane. Like Hawk Girl did what she did, she did what she had to do. Metamorpho was cool with his random son. But to me, Mr. Terrific was that dude. And this is no shade to Echo, because I think Echo did the best he could on Arrow with what they gave him. Like he didn't write the show, he didn't direct the show, he just was an actor on the show. But this Mr. Terrific, man, Edie did his thing. It gave off Vanessa like vibes of if Dr. Lee from Drumline, Orlando Jones's character, was a superhero, he would be Mr. Terrific. Like that's the vibe I got the whole time. Like he is the third smartest person in the world, if you believe that list, and he is just pissed off at all these stupid people around him, and he's doing the best he can in this world. And like I loved it. Out of all of the Justice Gang, he's the one that calls him Clark. He doesn't call him Superman or Big Blue. He calls him Clark. And there's friendship might be too far, but there's a camaraderie. There's a kinship between these two guys. And we saw it like in the little post-credit scene at the end. Like I feel like Mr. Terrific's going to be a big part of this. Yeah, just Clark just pissing Mr. Terrific off. He's like, I can really be a dick sometimes, a jerk sometimes.
So funny.
But I love that he had so much to do, because this is easily a character that could be like a side piece in this movie, and we only get a couple scenes, but he was integral to the plot, and feels like, and that's kind of why I love that we kind of started this Superman story here, even though it does feel like we missed the first chapter, because this is a Superman that has lived in this world. And he's got connections and he's got relationships. And so like, I want to learn more about their relationship. Like, and so, yeah, like I thought the Justice Gang was cool. Like I had my doubts. I had my doubts when they first was like, yeah, Guy Gardner's going to be in this movie. I was like, I don't know, James. But all of the Injustice Gang did their thing, man.
One thing that did bother me when it comes to relationships, they've been dating for 3 months, and Clark told Lois that he's Superman. 3 months?
He's very trusting.
He's so soft. I love that.
He's very Alan. He's
I'm also Superman.
Yes, Barry stayed telling people who he was.
Vanessa. No.
Tell everybody who Barry. Wait, Metamorpho, guys. The guy, Andy Kerrigan, is just this. I did not expect them to have such a sweet, soulful, just like what? I loved Metamorpho. Like I genuinely thought he was just going to be there, but his reactions, he was just there. Like he wanted to protect his son, and I thought that he just did such a good job. I don't know if anyone could have handled that kind of, because he looks ridiculous. First of all,
right? A little bit, yeah.
So like infusing that character with that much heart and like tragic, like. That's intense, and I think it was just so well done. I just think that Andy Kerrigan, who is on like that, what's the show called? Barry, yeah. Hank, so good. He was also several villains on The Flash. Like this dude is like in everything, just good in everything he does. But I really loved Metamorpho and his son Joey, which obviously was just there as a plot point to stress everyone out. But I didn't mind. I didn't mind him, and I was wondering if the blonde girl that they showed him with at the end was Crystal Stagg. That's his girlfriend, and he has a comic book out right now, or actually a recently concluded comic book out. But I'm wondering if that was supposed to be Crystal. But anyway, yeah.
Well, Stagg Industries was in the movie, so that's possible. Vanessa, can I just ask you, because I haven't read anything with Metamorpho in the comics. Like, is he usually this like emotionally driven, like in the comics? Like, because
it's usually based off of Crystal. It's very centered in Crystal and his relationship. And I will say, if you want to read Metamorpho and Mr. Terrific together, The Terrifics, which came out in 2016, 2017, it was during the DC Rebirth era, 2018. The Terrifics are Metamorpho, the Mr. Terrific, Plastic Man, and Phantom Girl. And then eventually we'll see Mrs. Terrific, Paula Holt from a different universe. It's a really good, really funny book, really good art. So if anyone like wants to see more of those two characters together, they are in a book together. But yeah, Metamorpho is driven usually by his relationship with it's not Kat Stagg. That's an artist. Crystal Stagg is the Simon Stagg's daughter, and they have a relationship. And Simon has always kind of used that against Metamorpho, against Rex Mason. So that has usually been his like driven, but him being an actual dad in this was a different spin on his character that I genuinely liked a lot.
Yeah. No, I thought him and Joey were a really great addition to the scene when they're trying to get out of the
Mhm.
pocket universe. It's just like, oh my gosh. It was just like the perfect bit of comedy in like what would otherwise be a really stressful scene, but it was just like, oh, there's a baby. So I did
and
enjoy
again,
that.
okay, because you talked about it off the top, Rach and Ness, but this Superman, right? This version of Superman, like just the fact my man is going through the plasma, and he's just holding this baby up. It's like, man, can't let nothing happen to this baby I just met, and saving squirrels and saving random people on the street in the middle of fights, and it's just like
And
there
like
is
the
something
dog.
to there's something to this Superman where
He's such a sweetheart.
this is the one of the most vulnerable Superman that I've ever seen in terms of live action portrayals. And that speech, corny as it may be, again, corny as Superman sometimes, that he's like, yeah, that makes me just as human as you, Lex. Like that, because he doesn't see himself as an alien. He doesn't see himself as a god. I'm just like you. I grew up in this random ass farm in Kansas, and I'm just trying to do the best I can. I don't know what I'm supposed to do tomorrow, but I'm gonna do the best I can. And so, like, this Superman that is grieving for this random falafel salesman that Lex brings into this whole plot and kills in front of him. That this Superman who is just like this. One of my favorite scenes is when Clark is doing an interview with Lois as Superman, and when they're on a date, and my boy is just getting so angry because he can't, like, he doesn't get like all the political stuff and the red tape stuff. He's like, I'm just trying to save people, man. Like, these people would have been murdered, and she's like, Clark, that ain't the way the world works. And it's just like, I love this vulnerable version of Superman that yes, he's got all the powers and stuff, but at the end of the day, he's just trying to do the right thing. And I think there is a lesson in there that a lot of people are going to miss because they don't want to hear that lesson, but I'm glad the lesson is there.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up his interview scene with Lois because he got so heated and he's just like, people were going to die. And I feel like that's like a part of Superman that's like so vital to his character is his like extreme sense of like justice and right and wrong and how important that really is to him. So I thought that was really, really well done. It caused some conflict with Lois, but I thought that scene was just really, really well done overall, really awesome. And I just, which leads into the
wait, before you continue,
Go ahead.
before you continue, Vanessa, you're right. It was Sapphire Stagg who was in the movie, played by Louisa Proud. Yeah,
Crystal Sapphire, the same thing. Yeah.
You're good.
But that's who she was playing. Like, she was. Yeah,
she was Sapphire. Okay, so it was a stag. Okay, actually confirmed stag. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Louisa someone named Louisa played her.
Y'all know Louisa.
My girl.
European last name.
One thing to Nate's point, and to about the interviews when he was like, people were going to die. I feel like this Superman, I might be going on a stretch here, but one of my favorite quotes is from Angela Davis is I'm no longer accepting the things that I cannot change. I'm accepting, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm changing the things I cannot accept. And I think that is Superman to me. He doesn't get he's never, it's in the comics too, he's never understood why he has to like, why do I have to get approval to save people's lives? I shouldn't have to do that. I should just be able to save someone's life. Why? We're supposed to be all good Samaritans. Like, if you believe in the Bible, there's literally things about that, being the good Samaritan, helping people out, like supporting people. Jesus is all about that. Y'all love making Superman your Jesus allegory, but when it comes to actually helping people out, they're like, what? No. I think that's like what is so, that's just like, I just loved that scene because he was just like, because I get that that man exists in real life, but he just doesn't have superpowers. And I think that made him so real to me. And it was like suffocating almost. I was like, oh my God, I want him to be able to do what he wants, but he can't. And that's just like, anyway.
Vanessa, you're going to get me heated talking about Christian's Superman. We're just not going to go there.
But as journalists, as a fellow journalist, wasn't it also so satisfying just seeing like Lois like using a fucking voice recorder and not like, because I'm so sick of time when movies and TV shows use like notepads. I'm like none of us use notepads anymore. Like, you think we're going to transcribe? I'm like, no, like.
It was very anachronistic a little bit. I don't know.
If you're a journalist, you use a voice recorder. You do not have time to sit and literally transcribe in front of the talent. Like, No, so I was
you ain't a real one, Andy. I want my journalist with a notepad, a cigar, and a little ticket sticking out of their hat. That's a real reporter to me, Andy B.
We also had the paper still. People still reading the paper.
Yeah, they're still reading the paper in Metropolis.
Yeah, I know. I was just like good on Lois for like being up to.
I love that she kept having to remind him that this is on the record. Like you have to say it's off the record, Clark.
That was funny. Yeah. No, I think one of the reasons that is so important and it works so well is because it's the writing backing it up. Because I think a lot of past Supermans and people who have bad impressions of the character is just like poor writing. I've always said, I'm kind of friendly-ish with Brandon Routh. He's a great guy. And I've always said he was like set to be the perfect Superman, but they really let down the writing in that movie. He would have been a really great one. And I think honestly, a lot of the bad Superman characters come down to the writing. So I felt like they really embodied him very well in that scene and going forward. So it made me happy.
That cat is going to do something.
Yes. I feel like Rachel, like you're running things, Rachel, but I feel like your cat just gave us a segue because we need to talk about the real star of this movie, not Superman, not Lex Luthor, not even Mr. Terrific. We talking about this man. Vanessa, people say like, oh man, that athlete is a dog. Angel Reese, she a dog. Josh Allen, he's a dog. We talking about a real dog. This man, Crypto, was one of the best parts of this whole motion picture, Rachel. Just a dog just being a dog. Yeah, he got powers and stuff, but he's a bad dog, but he's also a good dog.
So funny. No, the bit with the balls and like, oh my God, I was dying. I was like, Crypto's perfect. I want him. But yes, this is my cat. She loves to say hi to the judges when I am in Zoom court every day. So she's
freaky.
Occasionally will like come flying at my face while I'm in court. I'm just like, anyway.
I love Crypto, and I also
he was fantastic.
Annoying dog on the planet. I have a dog, and I was like, "This is dog parent representation. This is exactly what it's like." And we find out it's not even his dog. He had to endure his cousin's dog's bullshit. It was such fun a way to show their familial, like the dynamics of their family. Just so fun. Crypto just. Everything was a toy. I'm glad that they didn't go too much. Like, yeah, he's super powered and he's pretty invulnerable. I'm glad they didn't show him getting his ass beat a lot I'm pretty sure they cut a lot of that out because it didn't test well in the early screenings. But Crypto's fun. I have no in-depth thing to say about Crypto except the one thing when Clark was like, I have to go turn myself in for the dog, and she's like, it's a dog, and he was like, he's not a very good one, but he's probably scared. I was like, yeah. Bawling. That scene made me bawl when she said that you think everyone is beautiful. I was just crying the whole time. The lady next to me, because I went by myself yesterday to see it again. She was just like, I was just like, he's perfect. But Crypto was just like great. I don't know. He's fine.
Yeah, no, I was tearing up at multiple points, but the stuff with the Crypto, the dog, and he's like, I can't leave my dog.
Where's the dog?
Turn myself in.
Yeah, my man crashed out. Where's the dog? Like, hold on, Kal-El, calm down, brother. Let's talk rationally. But I love that first scene where he's like, Crypto, home. And Crypto's like, man, I thought we was playing. Like, he's just jumping on this man and beating this man upside the head and licking this man. And then finally he's like, oh, this is serious. Okay, I'll take you back to the fort. So we meet these robots. I love these robots. One of them is voiced by Alan Tudyk. I love them.
Yes. He's everywhere. He's in every universe, every version of this universe, Alan.
But the thing is that he already has 3 other roles through Creature Commando. So that's what's so funny. It's like, oh, now he has another role and another again. He's a good voice actor, so that's funny. I know. James's wife, who's plays Amelia Harcourt in Peacemaker. I think she was also one of the robots, and then Mandes from Guardians of the Galaxy was also a robot.
Yes, okay. I saw her name in the credits.
And Michael Rosenbaum voiced a raptor.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him though. It went by so quickly that I couldn't remember.
He was when after Eve Tessmacher got caught. He's the one that said sending sexy selfies behind Lex's back? She must be the stupidest person alive. Because that's the only raptor that happened.
Oh, was that him?
He's the only one that got any focus.
Interesting.
The only raptor that got any focus in the line.
So all of you are experts in this field. The raptors, those were people, right?
Yes, those are people in Lexosuits. Yes.
So Superman killed all them people, right? At the end of the
they
movie.
made a point to show them moving. They're moving at the end.
Okay.
So
I was like, are these robots? Are these cyborgs? Did you just murder like 20 people? I know they're bad guys, Clark, but
just temporarily disabled them, you know.
I think Crypto might have, but
what was Crypto not doing? What was Crypto? I mean, I loved Crypto to death, and I was like, you know, when they when Engineer wrapped his face around, or when he was like, you know, having the wires up and having to chase the squirrels. I'm like, I'm gonna throw hands. I'm like, I'm trying to I'm like, I know it's a movie, I know it's a CGI doll, but I'm like, I'm about to get up and being like, this is. But yeah, no, I mean, I think Crypto is going to be very much like Rocket Raccoon for this universe, but like he's going to start off very rough, but he's going to develop over time. Where he, you know, because by the end of Guardians 3, like Rocket Raccoon is nothing like Rocket that we saw in Guardians 1. I think that's what Crypto is going to do here too. So you know,
especially
Guardians 3 fucked me up, man.
Guardians 3. I never saw it.
Guardians 3 fucked me up.
It's really Guardians 3 is really good, Vanessa. It's like, you know, because I was like after Guardians 3, I'm like,
I don't know if I want to watch like I heard about the animal abuse stuff. I'm like, I don't want.
That's true.
This is not for me.
There's payoff for the animals in the end. Thankfully.
That's fair.
But I get it. It is hard. It's probably the roughest James Gunn Marvel movie to watch, because like the first one is very fun, the second one is just filler, and the third one is like a huge payoff. But like it's supposed to like really pull your heartstrings. So
Anyway,
we're gonna talk about the Engineer eventually, because I would want to talk about
yes,
as an Authority aficionado.
Oh no.
Not like this version of Angela Sika. I just didn't like this version. I get what they're doing, and I understand, like Planet Watch, the Authority, like this could be her, like, you know, breaking away from Lex and starting the Authority, or like being a part of it at some point. Like I didn't like how she was always like, I think like there was no depth.
I think it was a missed opportunity to do something more with her. To even, you know, like she got like one line that was like, I sacrificed my body for, you know, all this stuff. And like, we could have gotten like a lot deeper into that, into like, was that how you feel? Actually, just tell us some more, you know?
I agree.
I felt like she was kind of just the cool henchman, and that was.
She's so much better in the comic. Like she's so much. I get it. We're not gonna be able, like, but I think with all of the cool stuff they were able to do with each of the characters in this movie, with the limitations they had, especially with budget, I didn't need her to look exactly like the comics, but her characterization just left a lot to be desired. But there was a moment where she, like, whenever she would like get overpowered and like have little spikes on the back of her, I was like, she looks like a comic. That's what she looks like.
That was cool. That was cool. Well, I think there's a bigger payoff. Sorry.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna give more payoffs to her later down the line. I think Maria was great in the role, and I think that the fact that she, like, because the thing was, like, at least people who were working for, like, they started realizing, like, oh shit, we should, like, this is just not something we should do and fuck with. This is just I mean, he's losing it. So I think that when we get to whenever we see her next, you know, because I'm still hoping the Euphoria movie does happen, and you know, maybe there we will see kind of her transition from, you know, being a henchman with her legs to kind of like being more operative, like more a morally gray hero, seeing like, yeah, like, because I think she honestly thought that she was doing the right thing. You know, like, Superman is a threat to the world. Like Lex, you know, like, I should listen to someone who has all these resources. But now, you know, again, that's the thing we cared about. When, like, people will change and they see the wrongs of their actions eventually. So, but listen, because I have not read much of Authority yet, and I don't know anything about anyone from the comics. So, you know, if this was something that was kind of like a lot to take in, like, I totally understand that.
No, I think the motivations, I can totally see them moving this to like her being like, okay, Lex is crazy, but Planet Watch as a core is still a good idea. And then like recruiting other people. Because like the Authority is essentially like they're like a more authoritative Justice League. And for people who don't know the Authority, they're like very much, they just do things. They kill people. And they're not, they don't follow, like, they kind of just do their own thing. They don't follow like laws. They just kind of do their own thing. They're very, very, very like brutal. Midnight or Apollo, the Engineer, Swift. There's a lot of great like characters in it. I don't know if we'll ever even see Swift because we already have Hawkgirl, but I think I can see where they. Yeah, Jenny Sparks, which is like a really cool character. Jenny Quantum, whichever Jenny they actually bring up. But I think I can see where this version of her can do that. I just didn't like how. I think they could have she could have been more. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if this movie had more time, like we were talking about earlier, Vanessa, if even if it's just 30 more minutes tacked onto this movie, we could have had more stuff with Clark and the Daily Planet crew, because I like the Daily Planet staff a lot, especially when we get that scene where like, okay, let's just hop on this damn spaceship and do our thing. Team Planet go. Like, I just love their friendship and their camaraderie. But then I think we also could have spent some of that extra time looking at what's going on with Luthor and the people that Lex is surrounding himself with, including the engineer. Like, I thought visually she was cool. Like, there's one scene in the Fortress of Solitude where she does like a backflip on her hands and then her feet become her hands. And I was like, okay, that was wild, James Gunn. But other than just like being cool, like, I don't think there was a lot to the character. So yeah, I think there was some room where you could have fleshed out the bad guys a little bit more. But yeah, again, no movie is perfect, but I do feel like for the most part, I think they hit their goals.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay. Very important character to discuss in any Superman project, Jimmy Olsen. I am personally a fan of any Jimmy Olsen that stays alive through the end of the production. So that's always one favor for me. It's a little bit of a sore spot.
It wasn't even the real Jimmy Olsen that died in BBS, Rachel. It wasn't. It was just an agent. Smallville, however, they did him dirty because Aaron Ashmore is my Jimmy Olsen, and Smallville did him dirty.
Yeah, no, I was.
Skylar, when they announced him as Jimmy, I was like, oh, because has anyone here watched Santa Clarita Diet?
No, but I saw him on the Billy Engvall show, that sitcom that he did many years ago, where he was like
the Bill Engvall. You talking about Blue Collar Comedy Tour? Bill Engvall?
Yeah.
With what the?
I don't know. What? Why am I being judged?
You're not being judged, Andy. Just the fact, like, this is one of those actors I like. There's a bunch of actors in this movie I have no connection to, Vanessa. But like, just hearing the fact that this guy, that he was really good as Jimmy, but he got his start on the Bill Engvall show was just funny.
Well, he was Jennifer Lawrence's little brother, and then he also played Gwen Stacy's little brother in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I have thoughts. This Jimmy is like kind of creepy. I want to know why he's treating women the way he is. Like, again, that like anytime we saw his phone, we went through his contact list. I'm like, in the world of Andrew Tate's, like, this is not the right now, not what we need right now. And like, because I did not understand, like, why is every woman so goggle for him? Like, they never really explained it. They just like made him like, oh my God, he is, the big shit. And I really didn't like how he deals with women around him. Like, outside of, the people at work, I didn't like outside. I was like, this is creepy. This is disturbing. I don't want Jimmy Olsen to be that. Also, like, for someone who's a photographer, I didn't see this boy take a single photo, like, in this whole damn movie.
That's a good criticism. He did
not a camera in sight.
Photojournalists wear.
Exactly. And like, that's why, like, even like when Nate was bringing up like how they all went to the Tease Fair, I'm like, why the fuck are you all here? Like, you like, we don't like, why are you like, you guys are like Steve Lombard.
They brought my boy that was the sports reporter. Like, you serve no purpose on this team, my boy. But come on.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Did Ron Troop even have a line?
No, he didn't. I was like, where did Black Man number 2 come from? And why have you spoken at all?
Like, where did you come from?
Do you think he was their magical? Do you think he was their magical?
No, he didn't have enough lines to be the magical Negro. He didn't have enough lines. He didn't do anything.
Just for the record, I know I can't say. That's why I was like, Cat didn't need to be there.
Sorry, your Jimmy Olsen critique is insane. That is crazy. What?
But that's creepy. Like I don't like. Why is he naming women like these?
He's just a ladies' man. Like they made Jimmy the dweeb of like the literal goon that wears a brown bow tie and a green like blazer. The guy who never does not have game at all ever historically has no game.
McCall Brooks would like to talk to you about that.
He was.
I think I'm a lesbian, Brooks.
Let's be real. McCall was the most miscast Jimmy. He should have never been Jimmy. He's too fine and too cool to be Jimmy. Skyler looks like a Jimmy Olsen, but they flipped the script and they were like, nah, he's got game though. And like
got a little bit of sauce.
Like, flirty. And he's just like, okay. He seemed like a guy who's just like constantly getting attention. It doesn't make any sense, but it was funny because they were like, Jimmy Olsen's got game. That was the joke. It's just like, that's funny.
No, but like people like that's perfect within the right. I'm just saying this was how I felt. This is just how I felt.
I respect it. I think it's insane, but I respect it.
It's insane.
Yeah, you're Nate Jimmy Olsen. That's the poll right now. A referendum on Jimmy Olsen.
That's so fun. I get it. I knew it was it's not a Jimmy Olsen we're used to. It's definitely a different type of Jimmy. And like I feel like no one knows what to do with Jimmy. They don't want to make him the actual Jimmy, like earnest, like just shucks, like Superman's pals.
Well, my adventure with Superman, they do a great Jimmy Olsen.
Who?
My Adventures with Superman, they do a great Jimmy Olsen.
But he's not what I'm talking about. He's included what I'm talking about. They don't want Jimmy to be uncool anymore. All the Jimmys we've had have been too cool to be for actual Jimmy. Even Jimmy in the comics right now is too cool. He's dating Silver Banshee. That's cool as fuck. That's not Jimmy. That's cool. But like now Jimmy's cooler now. They're making him a little bit more like, but I think that does take away some of it, the Jimmy-ness of it. Like I think Jimmy Olsen
Silver Banshee. I would not have guessed that for like he knows, and he knows she's evil. Like he knows that she like.
She was rehabbing, and then there was a whole thing. Anyway, she was rehabbing in prison, and then he was like, it's fine. So anyway, what do you guys think about Jimmy? This version of Jimmy, me and Andy.
I thought his stuff with Eve was like a very unexpected comedy. It was just not not something I expected to see, but I thought it was very funny. Eve Tessmacher, of course, a classic character. I did enjoy the little shout outs to many DC characters along the way with Cat Grant and there's General Rick Flag, just hanging out, just being there. So I thought that being eventual part of Lex's eventual downfall was actually just very funny.
Is this the most Miss Tessmacher's had to do in any of these Superman movies?
Yes,
like, she was an actual character
in movies. Yeah, in Supergirl, Supergirl did a lot of things with Tessmacher.
Probably the biggest role she ever had. It was in that Supergirl show. They've never.
Okay.
This was a fun version of her. Like I think
my headcanon for her is that I think that she was some sort of influencer who saw her and knew about the abused women and that Lex had tortured and whatnot. I think she was I'm gonna get justice for these girls. I'm just gonna pretend like that I'm just a whatever. And because like when all the selfies came in, I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? And Lois is like, Jimmy, shut up. Let me just go through it. And like, oh my god. I'm canonizing her in my head as like some female warrior who like was gonna who looked out for her fellow women because again like this Lex is abusive. Like let's just like be very like, and it was so. Maybe it's just my theater who were just not intelligent enough to realize it, because there were people who laughed when like Lex threw the pen at her, and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you all? Like he's trying to stab her.
Don't recognize like domestic violence has historically been played for laughs for a long. That was where I flinched because I was laughing when he kept throwing the pens on the ground. Like for the henchman, but when he threw that pen at her, I was like, oh yeah, they're in an abusive relationship, and I got immediately like, I hate this man. It's just like the way the scene was written. I was like, it was so comedic, and then immediately you're like, what a piece of shit. Like, but most people don't recognize that, and a lot of people laugh when they're uncomfortable. So domestic violence plays for laugh, but like people just laugh when they're uncomfortable. So I think that's the time.
I was rooting for my girl Eve the whole time. Like. Don't let her die. Like, like Jimmy could, the fact that Jimmy was like all weekend. I'm like, boy, you'd be so lucky to get to be with her for a whole weekend.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. He better step it up. You better give her your mutant toes some
Come
attention.
on, Jimmy.
Yo,
Come on,
when he
Jimmy.
said she got toes like cocktail shrimp, I'm like, come on, Jimmy.
That was funny. I was like, Tarantino would like it.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind this Jimmy later on. Like if he just develop him out of some of these traits, because I'm like, I don't like we need men need to be boys need to have good representation of men when it comes to media. Like this was definitely not it. And yeah, that of course. But I'm saying just like it was just I don't know, like just there was just traits of him that I'm like I don't like it. But I think that Again, even if I don't like certain things in this movie, I'm like, you know what? I can change my mind as we go through more movies and TV shows because people do grow. But if they just remain the same, I'll be like, okay.
But it also feels like Jimmy is a part of this family in this newsroom where we've got Perry White, who's kind of like leading the ship. We've got Lois, who is this respected journalist. We've got the random sports dude. We got the random other black guy. Like we got Cat Grant. We got all these friends that we've been in this bullpen at this newspaper for years. And Jimmy is the kid. And Jimmy, like not only in terms of the journalism, but in terms of like who he is as a person. Like this is our first time meeting this Jimmy Olsen. And like Vanessa says, he does have some sauce. He does have some aura that we're not used to with previous Jimmy Olsens. And so, like, I want to see more of, to Vanessa's point earlier about more stuff at the planet. I want to see Jimmy and Clark's relationship more because it felt like a big brother, little brother kind of deal with these two. And I want to see more of that.
Yeah. Me and Vanessa, we've talk about this forever on these viewers podcasts, but like there should be a Daily Planet's newsroom like spinoff on HBO.
Oh yes, I would get with that. Yes,
I would die. I would die. I have a journalism degree because of these characters. I shit you not. I have a journalism degree because of Lois Lane, because of Clark Kent, the journalist, because of Perry White, because like literally seeing Perry with that cigar in his mouth, never took only occasionally took it out. I just want him and the JJJ from Spider-Man with the
Jameson.
The one version of him in the Raimi films, like that version. I need them in a room together. Like they just had the same.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah. Yes. Like just so. Anyway, I just had that seeing them in that space. Even though I wanted more of them, I knew they couldn't have that much of them in this movie. But like them, just her telling him the story, him writing it down, editor approval, putting it online. I was like, this is my life. Like I'm an editor. In real life, I'm an editor, and so like it was just like I just like representation's important, and I just like this is my people. I'm so guys.
I will say this: I would never want to edit anyone's article on a riding spaceship. I would be like, no. I will probably just give the computer to Vanessa. I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. You edit it. I'm not gonna do this. I can't do this. So like when Lois is like transcribe everything I say, Jimmy, and like there was a like I liked even though we saw briefly. I'm like. I kind of want that writing platform that they were using because I'm like, I don't know what it was, but I was just kind of like, I want that writing, like the writing platform that Jimmy was writing on.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, I want that too. I'm like, fuck, why can't we? Like, I told my boss at Screen Rant, I was like low key jealous that they had that kind of platform. She was like, no, I know, and I was like,
every journalist is like, what is this?
Yeah.
So. I think this is probably like the big last thing I wanted to talk about, but there's been a lot of stuff in the press and like memes wise about it being like a woke Superman movie. And I personally expected it to be a lot more woke based on that meme. Like with what like Dean Cain was saying and shit. I was expecting Superman to be like, I am an immigrant. Like, no, none of that happened. None of that happened. Like,
fuck you, Dean Cain.
It's such a shame too, because like I grew up watching The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
He was a good Superman. Not a good person, but a good Superman.
Terry Hatcher, that was like
a bad Superman. I will lay my life on that. We have never had a bad Superman.
Yeah, in live action or animated, like never.
Yeah, agreed. That's the one thing we typically get right is that he looks good. He talks like him. He sounds like the way he's written has been left with a lot of desire. But I think I don't think we've ever casted a bad Superman. Some have been there's a range.
I would agree.
No.
I think
Yeah, no, I would agree.
the wokeness of it all, and as a Black person, it will always, I think, to my grave, pain me how much this phrase has been bastardized, demonized, demolished, when it literally meant stay woke, literally meant stay up, wake up, keep your eyes on the system that does not work for us. It does not care about us. It will actually work against us. That was the whole point. And then race has got a hold of it, and now it's this fucking terrible thing that is so stupid. It's lost all meaning. Superman is woke. Yeah, no shit. Superman is supposed to be. He's always been that way. The early days of the golden era, the golden age comics, he was fighting slumlords. He's man.
Yep.
He is always been on the side of the little people. Doesn't matter where they are. In America, not in America, he's always been on the side of the little people. They didn't say immigrant, but they said alien multiple times, because I think that they were like, maybe they did. Maybe they even filmed a scene where he said immigrant. They surely filmed way more to the Jaranpur Barabian storyline, and a lot of it was cut down.
Oh,
why? Because let's talk about the parallels. We don't have to talk about it specifically, but like everyone is talking about the very blatant message that is anti-colonialism, anti-genocidal empires just getting to do whatever they want just because they want a piece of land to build a fucking resort on. We have villains like that in real life. The fact that I literally saw behind Tessa, I keep calling her Tessa, Eve Tessmacher's selfie, the Gloria thing, that is just so comic book evil, but we have real life politicians that want to do that right now. That's fucking insane. I genuinely was shocked that how strong some of the parallels were. Some of the things we saw in the last Jaranpur scene where the tanks rolling over fences. Yeah, you couldn't get more obvious than that. Yeah. The scene where there's just flags in the background. I'm like, what color are those flags? I just saw a lot, and I saw a lot that I wasn't expecting. And I'm like, what did they edit out actually?
Right. Yeah. I want to know.
Yeah, I definitely want to see what the Blu-ray and the DVD is gonna have in terms of stuff.
Release the gun cut. I'm just kidding.
Let's not even go there.
It's crazy because on this topic, Rach, like I get why some of these numbskulls, some of these to use James Gunn's imagery, some of these brainless monkeys was typing on the internet coming out against a movie like The Marvels. Like, I don't agree, but I know why. I get why some of these folks was coming out against Cap 4. Like, I don't agree, but I know why. But the fact that y'all fix y'all faces and your fingers to talk about Superman, Kal-El, the last son of Krypton, it's like this movie is too woke. And again, Vanessa, that is a word that has been co-opted and misconstrued by folks that either do not understand the original meaning of the word or do not care, quite frankly. And so, yeah, like the reviews, not the reviews, but the chatter prior to this, me going to see this, Rage, where people are like, oh, this movie is so woke and it's so political. And you would think Superman stopped in the middle of the movie and pulled a Alexander Hamilton and said, immigrants, we get the job done. Like, that never happened in the movie, folks. But the way these people are talking about it, it's like, you're either being ignorant, and that's to phrase it nicely, or you're being intentionally obtuse when it comes to these superhero films and TV shows. Like, why are they bringing politics into this when politics has been part of the process from the beginning? If you want to call, yes, if you want to call being a good person political, if you want to call looking out for the little guy political, if you want to call looking out for your fellow man, for your fellow woman political, then yes, this movie is very, very political. And so yeah, like that's the core of characters like Superman, though. That's the core of characters like Captain America, is that this is not just a white bread superhero that's going to go out and punch the bad guys. This is a hero that stands for something. This is a hero that gives people something to aspire to, gives them inspiration, gives them hope. And so, yeah, like I was not going to be the person like, oh, this movie is too woke, because I go in expecting a little bit of wokeness, if you want to call it that, which is really not. But I go in expecting that in my superhero medium, because that's baked into the bread of what these stories have always been, going back to the golden age. Like, it's always been a part of these stories. But B, it's like, if you watch this film and your takeaway from this when you walked out of the theater, Andy, was, oh, this was too political, this was too woke, then I don't know what you were watching. I don't know what you came to see, but it wasn't this movie.
No, I saw a meme shortly before we recorded that was just like, Superman didn't become woke, you became a terrible person. And I feel like that really sums it up, honestly. No, Nate, I really think you're right. And as well, I agree with what you said as well, Vanessa, that, politics isn't everything. If you say it's not, you're just lying, honestly. And I think, trying to divorce that is like trying to divorce morality from like reality. And I think you really can't have superheroes without morality. And I think the fact that they brought it to, to the real world and to things that are actually happening, I think it makes the message that much more powerful, honestly. I I wish we had a real life Superman that could come and bring hope to our current situation, because that would be great.
He's in prison right now, so
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, they would deport that Superman as fast as you could.
No, but you know what? So this is what's so interesting to me when it comes to what James Gunn is doing. So, like, he said that this DC universe is, a fictionalized version of, this, like, for example, there's history could have played out very differently here. World War II may not have happened here. 9/11 may not have happened here. Again, this is like their own history, but they're fictionalized cities and all that. So yes, obviously there's going to be some parallels to what's going on in real life, because that's literally what's going on right now. Like, yeah, of course there's going to be some inspiration drawn to show, like, yeah, these kind of things that they're happening in these movies are happening in real life, but they're not saying this country, or that country, or that country. So but the fact that, oh my god, like, Dean Cain is such a fucking idiot. But the fact, like, because now, like, all these clips from the show are coming up where, like, they're literally dealing with these themes in his own show, and I'm like, Dean, just because no one hires anymore, like, you doesn't mean you have to keep running your mouth, because it's not going to do you any favors. But and it's certainly not going to help you going on Piers Morgan and with all these, like, alt-right YouTubers. That's not going to help you your case at all. So yeah, like, when James Gunn, that one quote came out, I was like, oh no, the wrong people are gonna freak out about this, because when I see the movie, there's nothing of that. There's nothing, like, every time, like 5-10 minutes where Clark is making some point about, like, I'm an illegal immigrant or alien or whatever, and so it's like, no, like, because the stories go on so much, like, there's no time for them to really have, like, a big discussion like that. There's the biggest we ever got was when he and Lex, towards the very end, is where, like, they're discussing humanity. They're discussing humanity. Like, they're not discussing politics. They're not discussing laws. They're discussing, like, hey, I don't know why you're judging me so much when I'm just trying to do the best I can every day I wake up. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm trying to do the best I can while I'm here. And you demonizing me for that is just not helping the cause. And I think that's, like, like, the most, if you want to call it political, that we ever got. But yeah, like, it's just, and people were like, oh, the movie is going to lose money because James Gunn said that. Well, you all were wrong. So
Plenty of money so far.
I'm going to posit a marketing conspiracy theory that I think James Gunn and his brother knew exactly what they were doing with their interviews. Right ahead of the release of the movie, the easiest people to rile up are American conservatives. The easiest people to rile up are American conservatives. That is in the marketing playbook. At this point, if you want to get your woke Superman, Kelly Ann Conway's Mad, Tucker Carlson, Fox News, guess what that is, baby? Free marketing. That's free publicity. And it's good publicity, because guess who's not? A lot of people weren't checking for Superman before. A lot of liberals weren't checking for Superman before. They were just like, okay, another Superman movie. Then they saw that conservatives are mad about it. I saw liberals buying Bud Light, like, because conservatives were mad about partnership with the trans woman. Like, this is easy to get. It's easy to make money off of conservative rage now. I'm sorry. So I think that my theory is that they did it on purpose. The timed it perfectly. They could have said that, and they could have said this 2 months ago. They didn't. They waited the week of. I think they did it on purpose. I'm shout out to that, because I think it's smart marketing.
Yeah. I'm not pissed with that James and Sean Gunn even mentioned. I'm just more amused by the fact, like, oh, these people are always gonna, lash out about anything. And it's like, and in the end of the day, there is not like all these things that they were so concerned about is not even in the movie. But it's like they always get so uncomfortable because like, oh no, that's a nice fan. It's a very
great
nice
fan.
I'm still on me. So
I was gonna say,
Yeah. Why is it
wake up, Ray. Ray, stay woke, brother.
I had to bring out the fan when Nate was getting in his speech. I was like, "Oh, brother!"
We went to church for a little bit.
Somehow.
Anyway.
My favorite line in the movie was definitely, I think the one thing conservatives and liberals can finally agree on is that Lucifer sucks.
And he's just running away. That's the one cameo Maxwell Lord has. And can we talk about cameos, by the way? Because there was fun one. I'm like,
Yes.
Supergirl, come on, we gotta talk about Supergirl.
Yes.
That was
great.
That was so funny. That was so
Supergirl was
funny.
the best one, for sure. Supergirl was the best cameo.
Supergirl was amazing.
Yes,
Like
for sure.
I'd forgotten, Vanessa, that there was a damn Supergirl movie coming out. And
Yeah.
when this Lindsay Lohan ass, Paris Hilton ass Kara
What the fuck?
stumbled into the Fortress of Solitude, I was like, when her movie coming out? I got to see this. And just
Yes.
her and Crypto and just the conversation that Clark has with Gary, the robot, about why Crypto is such a bad dog, even though he's a good dog, is because him and Kara got issues and she ain't never properly trained this animal. But yeah, she was amazing in her little brief scene in the movie, man. I thought John Cena is Peacemaker. Like I'm so
Oh my
excited for
God.
Peacemaker season 2. Like that's gonna be fun. And then my boy, like this wasn't a cameo. This was more of an Easter egg. But James Gunn, how dare you, sir, have the audacity to have a fight going on outside Lois Lane's apartment when Clark don't even care because he in his feelings right now, and you got the nerve for him to just like, they just fighting some interdimensional imp. James Gunn, don't play with me, sir. Bringing this man, Mr. Mitzler Pitlick, out here.
That's a weird ass looking imp. That's a weird ass looking imp.
I mean, obviously he was because Mixie can change his appearance. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If we get Mixie in a actually as a not, I can't even imagine him as a villain for a full movie, but like I would love to see him in because that's so small. That's so smart.
Good.
Yeah, we already have Dimensions. And another fun thing that he did was like he introduced Dimensions, multiverses, black holes, all without being too much. Like it was a lot, but it was just like this is the universe now. All right, cool. We can do that.
Hypno glasses.
Yeah, hypno glasses.
I love the hypno glasses.
That was an old callback. I was the one cameo I had like not qualms, but that was kind of like, where does this fall into the timeline? Because we know Peacemaker season 2 it takes place after the event of Superman. But I'm like, which Peacemaker were we looking at? Because we've seen the trailer that we know there's at least gonna be 2 John Cenas. Oh, that's gonna be so hot. There's gonna be at least 2 John Cenas in season 2, and I'm like, but wait, so is that like the John Cena, the Peacemaker we've been following since the DCEU, or is like which one was it? That's why I kind of wish that they had not put Peacemaker in this, just to like I mean, hopefully they explain and they maybe even show us when they film his interview about reacting to Superman.
They might actually put that his perspective in the season. Actually, they might.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Before I know we're gonna wrap up soon, but I really I just need to talk about one thing. Y'all already know.
Cleveland.
Cleveland, this is for you. Oh.
Cleveland as Metropolis, you guys. It made me so emo seeing them fighting in Progressive Field. I've walked these streets. I have gotten drunk and walked through. I have literally had to carry a grown man drunk through the arcade. Shout out to Turbo. He was so drunk at the bachelor party. Now I have a new memory of Superman and Lois kissing. Like the arcade is going to everyone that gets married there is going to recreate that exact scene. I just love seeing like the PNC where they landed, the PNC building, the Stag building, the Daily Planet building, the scene where the splitting of the city and the one building with I cannot remember. I don't know if it was Terminal Tower, but it was like with the blue, with the like teal mint green.
Yes, that one.
Like I've seen that is one of the most like I see that building all the time. It was just so cool to see my city get destroyed. It was so cool.
For legal disclaimer, this is a reference to seeing the city of Metropolis being destroyed, not Cleveland.
Yes. Cleveland as Metropolis. I just
Wait, what's the arcade, by the way, that you were into? Like,
it is it's called, the official name, I have an article, has all the places listed in Cleveland. It's called the Hilton, the Hyatt Regency Cleveland at the Arcade. It's basically a hotel connected to this old arcade. It used to be an arcade, and then it's like this, like, aesthetically.
What scene was that?
Restaurants. The one where Superman and Lois, he lifted her up and kissed her, where they're flying in the air. That's the arcade. Yeah, that's the arcade. The people get married there. Like, it's a great, and like take wedding photos there. It's like a gorgeous, one of the most beautiful places in Cleveland. And yeah, it's just nice seeing, like,
a lot of money for a lot of these good locations, like, because that cannot.
No, it didn't. Cleveland is cheap. Like, let's.
I was gonna say, Andy, like, I don't know if you know.
I probably spent maybe $600,000 total filming in Cleveland.
Like, I'm hoping they made more.
Not to shade Cleveland, but Cleveland is part of the reason. Like, obviously, respect to Metropolis and the creators that created it, who are from Cleveland, Middleburg Heights. Shout out to that. But like, Cleveland's also pretty cheap. I'm sure pretty cheap to film in. Besides, like, you know.
Well, hopefully next time they film there, they will, like, at least, you know, get some more incentives. You know, yeah, because because that's, like, I think like, outside of, like, Vancouver, I think, like, this is probably, like, my favorite Metropolis that we've had in live action, because
it was really good. I liked it a lot.
There was so many fun locations, again, because I've never been to Cleveland, but, like, you know, like, it's for the last, you know, like, year, you know, doing these years probably with Vanessa, like, you know, like, anytime a trailers come out, I would be like, so Vanessa, where's that? Where's that? Have you been there? Have you sat there? Did you go there? Did you drive by there? And, like, so it's been fun, like, living, like, her Cleveland experience through this movie, because I'm like, you know, thinking like, oh yeah, she's probably like, when the football, when the studio scene happened, I'm thinking like, somewhere in the studio, a young Vanessa Shark sat down once and watched whatever game they play there, football, American football. But yeah, so no, I loved these locations. That's why I'm like, you know, if we do get like a Daily Planet spin-off, I hope that we actually get to go back and not just use the exterior and then just shoot something cheap in Los Angeles or whatever, because like this was a fun city to film in. Like, I think Cleveland deserves every fucking penny they got from there, and I hope more so, because I'm thinking like when you talk about like when they're flying up, and I'm thinking like, how, like, they must have like closed that down and like for who knows how many hours or days, you know, because remember we saw there was a little video where like Rachel and David were doing the stunt training, like where they were in the harnesses, and I'm thinking like, okay.
Also, Cincinnati is where the Hall of Justice is. That's actually where the where the Hall.
And there was a lot of Easter eggs on that one apparently. Like, apparently there was a lot of JSA characters. But you know, but because Guy Gardner and his hair was so loud, I couldn't pay attention to it. Like,
hey, 349 women approve. Okay.
Right, you got the nerve to talk about Jimmy when Guy is out here.
Yeah. Are you sure it wasn't? Are you sure it wasn't just, you know, the monkey bots, like, you know,
Guys
like just
out here slinging that ring?
Andy heavily implied monkey bot situation.
Well, I mean, it's become now it's become one of my favorite memes for, you know, a different fandom.
I know. It's pretty obvious they were referencing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, like I knew Rachel, like as soon as I found out like where Metropolis was located, I was like, this movie already got like 5 extra points for Vanessa before she even go to the movie theater.
The group chat I've had with Vanessa where like she will like message like in call cast when Isabella Merced was on whichever Jimmy show it was, like she was like talking about like, you know, shout out to Cleveland from Cleveland. I screenshotted immediately. I was like, Vanessa Hawk was from Cleveland.
I didn't know Isabella was from Cleveland until the interview. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Oh wow.
What if you were neighbors and you didn't know?
She's much younger than me. I don't. By the point she was alive, I think I had moved already.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, anyway, I'm excited. I love it. I hope we continue to film in Cleveland. Avengers filmed in Cleveland a couple times, so it would be cool.
Okay, I keep Marvel out of it. Like
Cleveland is a big could be a big market for movie making if, you know, this continues. So I'm hoping that continues.
Like if they do, if you had to guess, like what other DC cities do you think they would use Cleveland for potentially in the future? Like probably not Gotham.
definitely not Gotham. I would
Gotham is Chicago. Thank you very much.
I mean, Metropolis makes the most sense. If they were gonna do it like a Central City or something, I could see Central City.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Wait, hold on. I just realized something. What were these people thinking? Like when they were evacuating the city and they were heading for Gotham City, I'm like, you don't think it's gonna be better over there? Like you clowns.
Like, come on, buddy.
Looking at it, they're like, it's coming towards us. Maybe we should leave.
Let's go to Gotham.
Like Superman will save us. We'll just got to get at least a little bit further away. That would be my frame of mind. Like someone's gonna save us. There's a lot of people now, so.
I did love that, like they had the emergency response like routine down. Like this ain't the first time something's threatened to destroy the city. Like this is old hat. Like it's another one of these.
Got everybody out of Metropolis.
Life-threatening drills. Everybody get on the off ramp. I guess we'll spend the night in Gotham City.
I bet the kids do like monster drills in school. I bet they do. Yeah.
That's the other thing, man. This Superman again. This Superman, Andy B. He didn't even want to kill the kaiju. Like, come on, y'all. We ain't got to kill the kaiju.
I felt it was cool. Like it was cool. It was cool seeing like so many of his powers depicted a little bit differently. Like again, like the fact that even like he can actually get hurt by heat vision from someone else. Like I don't think we've seen that in a very long time in live action. I love that. The X-ray vision and stuff like that. The cold breath and the flight. I mean, like. Yeah, I like the for me with Superman is that I always like keep it to the core, but do something different either way. That's why I know we didn't talk about this as much, but like people were so pissed with the fact that this is a weak Superman. Where I'm like, but like, first of all, like if he's only been Superman for 3 years, like this Superman hasn't maybe learned all of his strength yet. Like he, again, we literally had a TV show for 10 years where Clark Kent learned about his powers and heritage, and. Also, I just love the fact that David Cornswood is also a Tom Welling stan. So, like, I feel like this, if you had to make a tweet, #Smallville, the handshake emoji, Superman movie, #Superman. There were so many fun Smallville vibes with this, and I'm like,
it was.
Yeah.
I think this movie was made by someone who's a fan of the Superman animated series, the Justice League animated series, and Smallville. Like, this is
no, I agree.
He grew up on Smallville. Like, Smallville is our defining Clark Kent for a lot of us. Like it ran for so long. So like the best Lex Luthor, agreed with Rachel, has always been Michael Rosenbaum. So I think Nicholas Hoult is on his level, to be honest. And like that's hard to do. Mike really killed it for a while. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah. No, I completely agree with you. They're having a Smallville con in Chicago in September.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I guess.
Are we meeting up? Are we meeting up? I might be at that one.
If you're there, no, I'll be there. But we're also having Fan Expo Chicago in August, and no Supermen have been announced yet. But apparently, at all the Fan Expos so far this year, David, Vanessa, they've all done a group photo together. So we're expecting to see that. And if Brandon Routh is going to be there, then we'll be there.
Yeah, they did it at Fan Expo Cleveland. I was like, damn it, I should have went. I might go to Fan Expo Cleveland next year. Yeah.
We went to Fan Expo Cleveland in like December 2022, I want to say.
Oh.
I think that was the last time we saw Brandon. We haven't seen him in a while. And like Katie Lotz remembered me, and I was like, well, that's wild. It's like I haven't been to Katie Stan in a little bit now, but that's wild. So, that was fun though. Okay. We want to give some final thoughts and give out our socials?
Sure.
I think that sounds like an excellent plan. I'll let our guest start. Andy B, you've been way too quiet this show. I don't think the people know your opinion of this movie or things in the world. So Andy, my little sweet summer child, Andy, final thoughts on Superman and any plugs, my friend.
That was a lot. Okay. Okay. No, overall, like, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Superman. Like I really feel like I said at the beginning of the show, that this is really the true beginning of a new era for DC. Like, even though yes, it sucks that we've had so many things canceled, across TV and film over the last 2-3 years. Like, if we can now just have a stable time with DC under James Gunn and Peter Safran for DC Studios, like, and if we get things like Superman, like, the kind of quality we got with Superman, and I'm excited for it. You know, yeah, I had some few issues here or there, but like, yeah, like this is a film I'm probably gonna catch in theaters again pretty soon. And again, I don't see movies in theaters more than once because tickets, expensive. Inflation is real, y'all. And I'm hoping that. I just hope nothing for this film to just be successful and just keep, again, it's gonna be fun to see what the box office is gonna look like in the next couple of weeks. And I'm excited to see what comes next after this. So, you can find me at Andy Behbakht. I haven't legally changed my name to Andy Mangione yet, but
it's just a matter of time.
Exactly. Yeah. Once he gets out, once my husband gets out, then we will officiate it. But you can follow me at Andy Behbakht on all social media. I'm a senior writer for ScreenRant.com, and I'm also the editor-in-chief of MultiverseOfColor.com that I work on with Vanessa, and we're getting ready for Comic-Con next week, so look for all the coverage there. And Hey Luigi, what's up?
Thank you, Andy, as always. Before we go to Vanessa, I also, give Andy a hard time, but I want to give Andy a special tip of the cap for allowing us to use formerly the theme song for Naomi for this podcast. Because
that's what it was. Yeah. I was thinking I'm like, which theme was this? Because I know I said yes to something, but which theme was this? So yeah,
yes,
that was shout out to Mike Schmidt, who for more than a decade composed all of our theme songs for all the shows on DC TV podcast. We wouldn't be there. We wouldn't be here without us. So major shout out to you, Mike, if you're watching.
Yes, and I love that song so much that Brittany and I only got to use for like 15 episodes because it was what it was. It was CW, man. Y'all had to be there. But thank you, Andy, for letting us use the song. We would have used it anyway, Andy, because you can't stop us. Because even if you sued us, we got the best lawyer in the game. So
she's my lawyer.
We got the high ground, Andy B.
No. Sit your ass down. She's my lawyer. I saw her
first. That's true.
Exactly.
Hey,
when she becomes Supreme Court judge, she will be benefiting me. Like I saw her first. So
you got me on your yacht. Let's go.
Oh, speaking of yachts, you know what's out in that water when you on your yacht, Rachel?
Yeah, my yacht. I'm a legal aid attorney.
Right.
Vanessa Shark. And last thoughts on this movie, and where can we find you, fam?
Last thoughts.
So many props this episode.
I thought it was a filter that just popped out of the.
It's like a carrot top of Metropolis.
I got this on the screen. I was like, "Oh, cute!" I miss my little.
Did you get a popcorn bucket?
No, I was so tempted to buy the crypto bowl, but I did not. I was like, what am I going to do with the popcorn bucket? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, your dog could eat out of that.
Sorry. Anyway,
every time.
Final thoughts on the movie. I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it lived up to my expectations. And I don't think I could ask for more than that, honestly. This movie is so good. It's so fun. It's refreshing. Lois, Clark, everyone is so good. I cannot wait to see more in this universe. I can't wait to see Supergirl. I'm even excited for Peacemaker 2. I was just kind of like, I'll watch it, but now I'm excited for it. Like I'm actually I'm really excited about the universe now. Like I have been holding my breath, waiting for this. So I think where I'm finally could just like unclench and just chill. So I'm excited. And yeah. Oh, you can find me at Vanessa Shark on everything. I'm more active on Threads now, and I'm on Instagram, Blue Sky, all those things. You can. My website is vanessashark.com, which I occasionally update. I think I'm going to write about Superman this week, so that'll be live this week at some point. Just my own personal non-review feelings. I did write a review for this movie on bigoldbelt.com, so just check that out. Big Old Belt Media. I don't know. It's on there somewhere. You can find it. Also, it's on my story. So bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Shark. Do. As for me, I don't think Rachel's ever heard me address you as such.
No, this is all the time.
It's all the time. This is Vanessa's life.
Every recording, every time he sends me a voice note, he starts with that.
It's perfect. I love it.
My final thoughts on this movie, man. Like again, to echo some of what Vanessa and Andy have said, I was extremely pleased with this movie. Had a lot of fun with it. And hey, superhero films can be fun, guys. Like that's where the source material originated. We having fun telling these stories about these people. Like shout out to this man, Nicholas Hoult. Like again, one of the best Lex Luthors we've seen in the game. This man, I call him Coach Luthor because the way my boy was in there, like 832, run B16, F47, like Bill Belichick, super villain. What's going on? Like he had all the plays called for Owlman. Owlman.
And Ultraman.
Ultraman. Owlman wasn't in this movie, or was he? He might have been in the background somewhere. So many Easter eggs, James Gunn. But no, I had a lot of fun with this, man. And again, it does fill you, not to use the word again, but like a lot of hope for what this universe can be. But even if, like, worst case scenario, this thing falls off the rails by the next movie or the next show, this was a fun time. And this was a really, really great performance from the entire cast. I love this version of Superman. I think he is the Superman we need right now in our current world. And yeah, had a lot of fun with it. If you've been on the fence, go check it out, man. It gets our seal of approval. But yeah, it's good times. It gets me excited, man. I can't wait to see what Jimmy Gunn got for us. In terms of what I have, his close friends call him Jimmy. I didn't know if you knew that, Andy.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Nate. Good to know.
Okay.
I've been knowing this man for years. I was the one that told him, I was like, you probably shouldn't tweet that, James. Don't do it.
The fact
he didn't listen. He didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to me.
Let's just leave that in the past.
He didn't trust the bro. That's all I'm saying. But for more from me, and when I say me, I mean we, because I am nefarious. Nefarious is I. That sounded real grandiose, like Lex Luthor at the end of the movie. I built all of this to get you, Superman. Oh, also like Lex admitting that envy is what fueled him. Like, there's so much good.
What
Nicholas Holt brought to the table, man. And the fact that we got this brother locked up in the same prison, if I'm remembering right, where the Suicide Squad was.
Del Reeve, yep.
That's your bald ass Del Reeve.
Gun is cooking. So, like, for more from me, Twitter, I'm still there. I'm always going to be there long after you're gone, Elon. At in the number 8 MOZAIK. Threads and Blue Sky at in the number 8 MOZAIK 757. But more importantly, follow Nefarious, because we are on the drive to 500 Patreon subscribers, 500 YouTube subscribers, man. We're trying to do some things here at the network, trying to get Ray Williams some help out here. So patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. If you'd like to help us out, man, $5 gets you in the door. If you want to pay more, we will not stop you. But yeah, for everything else, man, just follow Nefarious on all the socials. We trying to make something happen. And before I turn the microphone over to our illustrious host, Ray Williams. Ray Williams, you are our very own random black dude from the Daily Planet that ended up. Ray, come out for 2 seconds, Ray.
Random black. He has a name, Ron Troop. Ron Troop is his
Ron
name.
Troop, yes. Ray Williams is our Ron Troop. Ray, I just want to say we give you a lot of grief, but Ray Williams has been working very hard this week. Not only on these shows, we've done 4 shows in like 7 days, and Ray's been doing a great job with that, as well as maintaining Blue Sky and our socials. So thank you very much, Ray. I know we pay you so handsomely here at Nefarious, but you're going above and beyond your paycheck, brother.
Don't mention it. I think I get paid in insults, so I'll be all right.
You're a very rich man then, Ray. You're a very rich man. And sorry for spoiling the movie for you, Ray.
It's all good.
Thunderbolts of the New Avengers, by the way. Thank you, Ray.
Okay.
Ray Williams, ladies and gentlemen. But we go from Ray to our host, and who I'm glad she decided to hop in with this crew, hop in this random spaceship, and lead us on our path forward. Rachel, the host of Super Salad, OG Rachel. Final thoughts on the movie and any plugs, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Nate. Yes. I did want to mention, since we did talk about Naomi and the CW briefly, that I also have hatred for the CW for life because of them canceling Batwoman early on me as the former host of the Batwoman podcast. So I'm never going to let that go, just so you know. Anyway, back to Superman. Is the best Superman movie I've seen in a very long time. I'm just really happy. I feel like, as a DC fan, I've, kind of had to deal with it. Oh, but the movies, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm not really into the movies except Wonder Woman 1, which was a masterpiece, not Wonder Woman 2, just one. I feel very passionately about these characters, and it was sad having to see them in media that I did not feel was portraying them well. So I'm really happy we have this. I thought it was an excellent opening piece for the universe. I'm excited to see where we go from here. And I agree with Nate that I think this is the Superman that we need right now in this world. I really do. So you can catch me on pretty much all of the socials at Rachel Eiley. That's RachelEiley. I am still on Twitter. Like Nate will probably be there for the rest of my life because I opened my account in June 2009 and have been there ever since. So you will not get me to leave there, but I'm there on Instagram and Threads as well on the same username. So feel free to catch up with me, hang out. I tweet a lot about K-pop, honestly, and we'll probably continue doing so. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm sure we will figure out a better opening sign off or a better sign off for this show.
Real quick, Ray just put in the chat. I guess Ray put up a poll while we were on. Ray, what is that poll and what are the results of said poll?
So I put up a poll at the start of the show just to see where people's mindsets are if they saw the movie. So I put up specifically, I said, if you saw the movie already, what do you rate it out of 4 stars? Because we only got 4 options. That's the most we could do. So 80% of those who voted 3 stars, rated it 3 stars. So
all right.
Okay. What was the other 20%?
1 star, actually.
Oh, boo this person, whoever you are. Boo you. Dean Cain. Dean Cain, get off of our network unless you want to pay for the Patreon.
1 star.
Dean Cain is like, I'll show them. Boo that man.
Yep.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, this has been fun. This movie was great. Please be looking forward to more awesome episodes of this podcast, and we will see you then. Bye.
Later. Up and away.